So welcome guys to another evening of Wellness Thoughts at the Wellness Group.
Awesome.
Tonight we have the one and only Kiran from Key's Kitchen with her enlightened cuisine. And we have Dwayne Thomas, who is an expert at resilience coaching. So welcome guys.
Thank you.
Kiran, nobody says it. I know I have a little card here that tells me what you do, but I will not do it justice the same way you would. So tell us about your...
Key's Kitchen is an anti-inflammatory meal delivery service.
Okay.
I believe we're one of the only people in the city actually who focuses our attention on cancer, MS, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, and all of the major chronic inflammation ailments and diseases, healing through food and proper nutrition with regards to food combining, food timing based on Ayurvedic principles.
Okay. Because all the research that I keep reading keeps pointing to the fact that most illnesses, if not all, I'm going to say most to be safe, are really inflammation.
Yes, I agree with
Is
that.
that fair?
100%.
Okay.
That most are as a result of, and it's as a result of improper digestion.
Okay.
That's where it starts, because if you are not, digestion starts from the moment you smell food, and then it goes through a whole cycle. You eat, digest, it goes through your bowels and so on. But if you are not combining the foods correctly, eating the wrong foods at the wrong time, eating the wrong foods together, eating foods that are just not in general good for your individual health,
Right.
Okay.
there is going to be a cause of indigestion, and then indigestion will then lead to the gut leak and and any kind of other issue in the gut, which everybody's talking about that these days, where
Yes,
everything
leaky
from
gut.
leaky
Yeah.
gut, everything from Alzheimer's right down to arthritis is a result of that.
Oh, we have so much to talk about. And Alzheimer's just got labeled type 3 diabetes.
Yes, which is
As well. It
inflammation.
goes back to food, right?
Yeah, it's all about food.
And Dwayne, one of my favorite people,
Mine too,
because of
I must say.
resilience. So tell us, resilience coaching. And I know it's tied to food. So tonight, I guess the overall theme is food.
Absolutely.
But tell us about it. Tell us resilience and food.
Well, the one reason that I'm here with Kiran is because of that connection with food. As you know, I have a workshop, a food over medicine workshop,
Yes, I've attended it. It's quite good.
that really looks at, what we're putting into our bodies is either going to help us or it's going to hurt us.
Okay.
It's really that simple. And as you just mentioned, inflammation being the root of all of that. And so the good news is that if we realize that, we're having a bit of a problem with digestion, or we're overly inflamed, there are ways to correct that without taking medication. That's what's so exciting about the body can come back. The body is as resilient as anything there is.
And that
with the
food
right
over-
nutrients, you can do that.
Yeah, sorry. That food over medicine is a phenomenon that there's only about 2 people certified in Canada, 2 or 3 people, if
That's
I
true.
recall correctly, and you're one of
Exactly.
them.
Exactly, and it's
Brilliant.
It's we want to get the word out, and so that's why we're so excited to work together with this workshop that's coming up next week.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that. So, oh my goodness, inflammation, food, what kind of food you pair with what?
I find
How do we even begin?
It's really not rocket science, but what I find people need to get through their head is that it is a choice that you make. There are very few choices that people make in their life that are of their own doing without other people affecting why they've made that choice. What you put in your mouth, when you put it in your mouth, is 100% your decision, unless of course you are living on a very, very, very basic income where finances come into play, and then we get into the government subsidizing wrong foods and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But the average middle class family, that's your choice. If you decide that you're going to have a burger and fries and onion rings, which I happen to love, they are like the top 3 on my list, just below pie. Nothing trumps pie in my life.
Nothing trumps pie.
No.
That should be a catchphrase. It's like, you know what? Nothing trumps pie.
But if you're going to make those choices, then you should be well aware of the consequences of what you're actually going to be doing to your
It's
body.
cause and effect. You know, it's so
100%,
interesting. I mean, we are coming some ways. Like, I know not fast enough, but I was at a business meeting today at lunch, and you know how now you have to list the calories that are
Yes.
in the food, right? So, you know, I'm trying to be good, so I went to the salads. Some of the salads had 1,100 calories. Like,
That's crazy.
there were less calories in a burger. Like, you know, in some of the
Absolutely.
burgers.
No,
right?
I agree.
Depending what you put it.
I agree. Sometimes
is-
it's better to just have the steak.
It is
You know what I mean?
crazy.
Depending on what it is.
It's out of the whole thing, the lowest serving that they had, and I'm not going to name the place. The lowest serving they had was, I think it was 650 calories.
In a salad?
No, in the entire menu.
Oh.
In the entire menu. It was that one salad. So thank goodness now they're posting the calories.
Well,
that come with it. They still don't
a
give
bit
you
angered
fat
by that
degree-
personally.
fat grams or any
Right,
other
right, right.
information.
Calories are
that-
just a form of energy. That's all it is. Your body, depending on your work and what you do, if you're an athlete, you need X number of calories. If you're sitting behind a desk every day, you need X number of calories. Calories, in my opinion, mean nothing.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a form of energy. But
It's just like putting gas in your car.
yeah.
It depends how much you drive.
At
Right, if
where
you're-
you're driving, are you
yeah.
off-roading? Are you climbing a mountain,
If
or are
you're-
you just
okay,
driving
I
down
never thought of it
Ellesmere?
that way. Okay,
You know
And
what I
fair
the
enough.
thing is, if you are putting the gas in your car regularly and the gas is what your vehicle requires, then you don't have to worry about
The calories.
the calories.
Because it's
no one's
just
going to be
energy.
calorie counting.
No.
And you
If
don't
you're
have to if you're
burning
choosing
them,
the right
yes.
foods. And that's the key
True.
to that whole thing begins with awareness.
Absolutely.
You have to have that understanding. Then you reflect a little bit and then you make the choice.
Exactly.
So tell me some of the most common myths and mistakes that people make in pairing food or in
And thinking that a salad is healthy. That is, which is why we
Right.
have this
True.
workshop
That is
coming
true.
up.
Oh yes, next week.
Because the reason that we came up with that is because I have been, almost everybody I follow on Instagram is all about food. My whole life
Yeah.
revolves around food in every way possible. Food for me, food for my customers, it's all food. And I'm looking at all of these beautiful offerings on Instagram, and sometimes people will post their salads and it looks so beautiful and so yummy, but then I'm analyzing what's in it and I'm like, do you know how many carbs and sugars are in there? And not so much the carbs because they're necessary, but when you're talking about inflammation, sugars have got to be low to none. Like you can't
Sugar's
have
like crack.
Sugar is crack. It is legal crack, and it is the most difficult thing to come off of
Wow.
in life because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's absolutely everywhere. So one of the things, a big myth, thinking that a salad is healthy. A salad can be healthy if you know what to put in it and what not to put in it.
And you think about the salad itself, you can even put together a salad that's quite balanced.
Yep.
And then if you drench it in your Italian dressing or
yeah.
Something that
Dressings have a lot
it's
of
going to just
sugar.
amp up the calories and just cancel out everything you thought you were doing good for yourself.
Oh, we're probably picking like the worst thing. But there's an ice cream that is all natural ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
So in moderation,
In
or
moderation.
as a treat, you
Yes.
know, like portion. Because also another thing that's
Portions.
deceiving is the size of the portions,
Yes,
right?
because when you're reading a nutrition label and they'll tell you it's
For
4 sugars,
Yeah, that's true.
exactly.
It's very
Then you have to think, okay, am I gonna have
Right.
a 1-inch piece of ice cream here, or am I
Yeah.
gonna have a bowl?
Or
Then
it's
you
like,
have to multiply it
why
out.
did I skip
That's
all those
right.
math classes?
Same with
Yes.
cereal.
Cereal
Cereal
exactly.
does that too.
So that's why, coming back to your point about calories at the salad place that you went to, they mean this. Yeah, they mean nothing. What they should be labeling are carbs, sugars, fiber, protein.
Yes, because the
these are the things
calories-
that should be
It
highlighted.
could be, it could be high in calories, low in carbs. Is
Low
there
in
such a
carbs.
thing?
Yes, not
Probably.
so
really,
much,
right?
But it could be high in protein. It could be high
Oh,
in
okay.
fiber, which will
Fiber.
cancel
Yeah,
out some of your
true.
carbs.
True,
Yeah,
true.
You know
the
what I
fiber
mean?
thing is something that I think we'll touch on at the workshop as
Yeah.
well, but really important to me. And I think, most people in North America do not get enough
Enough
fiber in
fiber.
their
No, not at
diet.
all.
But isn't
Particularly if you're eating
fiber,
processed food.
doesn't doesn't fiber fall into that whole wheat is bad for you.
No, and wheat's not bad for you at all, unless you have celiac.
The
wheat's
whole
not bad.
wheat belly, like everybody keeps like
That book.
talking
Yeah,
about
it's a lot
bad
of misinformation
wheat,
out there
bad
too. And
wheat.
again, that's why people ought to come to the workshop to figure out.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the workshop, let's talk about the workshop.
So the
Because
purpose.
Dwayne keeps talking about the workshop.
Good man, good man.
So the workshop's next Tuesday.
Yeah, 7 to 9 p.m.
November 21st, 7 to 9. It is part of the wellness group, but we're
Yeah.
hosting it with our friend Rick over at Being Around the World, which will post the address on
A
the.
fabulous little place that Dwayne and I happen to
Yeah.
really love.
And it is
That's awesome.
it is a private event, so bring water, bring your drinks because it's just us.
Yeah.
But there's ample parking. It's just at the corner, a little bit west
Just
from
west of Markham and 7.
Road and Highway 7.
Yeah.
And it is. How long is it?
It's not exactly from 7 to 9, but
Okay.
we've booked off that time.
Okay.
Certainly, if people come in like around 7:30 and they are able to pack up all their all their soups and salads, and they want to leave, it's up to them. We will be there for discussion.
Okay.
The purpose.
How does it work? People do they need to bring anything?
No, they
Right.
actually don't need to bring anything at all.
Okay.
We'll supply them with the jars. We'll supply them with all of the
Oh,
food.
nice.
They will walk away with any combination of salads and soups. The soups will have to be cooked because the whole purpose of including soups in this workshop is to teach you how to treat your legumes before you consume them to avoid the indigestion and digestion problems.
And that's a huge point of misinformation, I think, out
Okay.
there that you're really going to help people understand.
Okay.
Yeah, that I learned recently at a trade show that I was at that a lot of people don't realize the importance of treating grains and legumes properly to avoid bloating and gas and lethargy and so on and so forth. Because I treat my beans and grains and everything properly, and I have people who have Crohn's who come to me for food,
Oh,
and
wow.
none of them have problems eating my food at all. And there's beans in everything that I cook.
Wow.
So it's a matter of, as Dwayne always reminds me, awareness. What you know and what you don't know and what you should know.
Okay.
So they'll walk away with the ingredients to make soups, but the salads will be ready to go if
Ready
they
to
wanted to
go.
have that for
Okay.
dinner on their own, in their car or on their way home.
Or the next day.
Or
It should still be good for the next
It'll be
day.
absolutely good for the
Yeah.
next
Are
day.
you going to
Okay.
bring any of your spices or?
I will bring my
seasonings?
absolutely. I'm making all the sauces and seasonings that go with the salads, but then I
Awesome.
also have a line.
You have your own line.
I have my
Yes,
own line of
yes.
anti-inflammatory sauces and seasonings, which will be available for purchase. That just
Okay.
make your life a lot easier.
And they're also going to be available at the wellness group.
Yeah. But
And,
I think the
yeah.
workshop is really important for people because a lot of people think that they're doing the right thing and not that they're not doing the right thing. Mother Nature doesn't make anything that's unhealthy. We're the ones that mess it up by combining things incorrectly, and then we suffer for the problems, and they're like, why did I do this?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to hear more about that because that's a blind spot for me as well. That the combining foods and how
It's a
to
big
avoid
deal.
some-
It's a big deal. It's something that a lot of people don't speak about, and I don't know if it's because they're not aware of it, and whether it's because of my background and my training,
Right.
growing up in ashrams and so on, and so learning this as I've been growing up, or I have no idea why it has not been spoken about, but it is of equal importance as what you put in your mouth, what you combine it with, and when you eat it makes
And-
all the difference.
And it's not really a chore either. Once you
no,
understand
once
it,
you get it going, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
And
important
some
too,
things
right?
like I remember reading not eating fruit with mixed with you know how we put like fruit in salads
Yeah.
and fruit in yogurt and
Exactly.
fruit in things.
Yeah.
It's-
That's what they'll be learning at the
Okay,
workshop.
Good.
To avoid and it's not that you can't eat fruit. Fruit is a necessary
yeah,
item
of
in life.
course. Just how
But-
you go about it.
But it all comes, when you break it all back down, it comes to digestion.
Right.
All of illness starts with improper digestion. So if you want to do your best to give your body its best chance at fighting any form of ailment that may be pre-existing or coming your way, then you have to start with right digestion, which comes with food combining and timing.
It also goes to your brain too, your brain function, your
Oh,
cognitive function,
100%.
because digestion is occupies most of the blood and energy in your body. So if you're
Absolutely.
using more than what you need for digestion, right? Especially after lunch, you know, when you hit that 2 o'clock,
That's right.
3 o'clock, and that's when people hit for sugar, that's when people want more coffee and all that stuff, that if you know how you're putting it together,
Exactly.
it won't be competing, right? Your blood won't be competing with your brain.
100%. You could ask Dwayne, he's had my lunches
me.
before. How...
He always hits the wall around 3 o'clock.
No, not when he has my lunch, he doesn't.
It's true though. Sometimes if I do stray and have that cheeseburger, I feel it afterwards.
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel it.
And there are many things within
Because
there
I'm not a
that make that
vegetarian,
happen.
and I do have an occasional cheeseburger,
Yeah.
and every time I do, I go, why did I have the cheeseburger?
Yeah. And you feel...
I can imagine you eating
I can't
cheeseburgers.
eat
Neither could I. I've never seen him eat anything that isn't a vegetable. But...
It's odd, but I'm working on it.
If
I
I
know
do
you
it in
are.
secret.
But no, you're absolutely right, which is why Key's Kitchen provides lunches for people as well. And our tagline is taste the difference, feel the difference. Because yes, the food that comes out of Key's Kitchen is fabulous. I will say that for sure.
Oh, I know.
I am a good
I've had
cook.
it. I've had it.
True.
It is
I am a good cook.
It's really, and you could not, like, if you did not know that there is a holistic, medicinal, however you would like to
That it's about healing.
frame it, that's good for you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would not know.
Yeah.
Like, it tastes
I say that
amazing.
all the time.
It
Healthy
tastes
doesn't have
really
to taste like
amazing.
cardboard. It doesn't have to taste like grass. It could taste freaking fantastic. But my tagline of taste the difference, feel the difference is to let people know to pay attention to how you feel, what you feel and what you don't feel after you have a Key's Kitchen meal, especially at lunchtime when your metabolism is working at its strongest to produce, to process the food that you put into it. What you will never feel from a Key's Kitchen meal, like 45 minutes to an hour after, is bloating, gas, and lethargy. You'll never hit that 3 o'clock wall.
And, this is where keeping a food diary, like even if it's not a food journal, but just a diary of it, just to see what you've eaten and how you feel.
Exactly.
Right?
'Cause I think a lot of
checking
times-
in, right?
You're dead on with that, because a lot of times people think they eat healthy, and really, if they were to scrutinize what happened there, in fact, they did go get a cheeseburger at some fast food restaurant, or they did have that mac and cheese at some fast food
Oh
restaurant.
my goodness.
Yes, I
You know?
believe
Did I tell you
Carolina had a bit of a mac and cheese
That's
story.
the-
Just
that's
so
the
sad.
word, yeah.
Mac and cheese is a code word, that's right.
Yeah, blame it on the mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese
yeah,
brain.
I forgot about that. I was going to tell
we
the
forget
story.
about that, and maybe part of it
It was-
is our
Maybe
brains
that's
have
part
been
of that is your
on-
mac and cheese
on
brain.
hold.
Oh
Exactly.
my goodness, that was just, I have never, well, I don't eat mac and cheese that often, but
That's why.
it was wicked. It's like, and it was so fast too. Like, by the end of the conversation, I'm just sitting there and I couldn't recall. Just about at that point of just quiet taking notes because I got nothing to say because I don't remember
And
anything.
don't get me wrong, my husband and I try to eat vegan and healthy and anti-inflammatory 6 days out of 7. And Saturday is my splurge day, and I will eat whatever. I'll go down my list and
Oh,
start with
wow.
pie and come
That's
down
so
burgers
good.
and fries and onion
But
rings and
that's
whatever
so
I want.
Good, you know
But I'm
that.
aware of the
Yeah.
consequence that I'm
Well, see,
going
that's
to
the thing.
feel.
You probably
and
wake up with a hangover.
I feel it in 15 minutes.
Oh wow!
It doesn't even take half an hour with me. It's 15 minutes later I'm starting to feel it, and then if I've gone really bad and filled myself with an enormous amount of carbs, I'm dead asleep in an hour. Like I can't wait. I can't shake it. I can't wake it. My body just shuts me right down.
Oh wow!
That's its
incredible.
retaliation.
Yeah, and it's also tricky around this time of year when there's going to be so
Oh,
many
yeah,
things
yeah.
happening with
Well,
food
we're
in
gonna
the
have-
U.S. We got Thanksgiving coming up. but,
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to have you
And that
guys
just leads
back.
right into Christmas.
Yeah, to get us ready. Is there something that we can do to get us ready for the holidays?
Well, the first thing is to come to the workshop on the 21st.
Awareness.
We are. Yes, awareness.
Gain the awareness first of the do's and the don'ts.
Yes.
So when you make your decisions, you are informed. You're making informed decisions.
Yeah,
It
make
starts
sure it's
there.
planned, like it's balanced. You know, it's almost like you have to choose whether you're going to eat or drink. right? Like because I try to
I would say
watch,
yes.
right? So it's like, okay, am I going to drink or
Yeah,
am
are
I
you
going
the designated driver tonight?
Yeah.
or what?
Well, and I don't
Am I
mean
gonna
drink,
have that
drink,
piece of
right?
raspberry
Yeah.
pie at Carolina's, or am I gonna have a shot of
Correct.
whiskey?
Yeah.
I'm going to have the pie. I will give up the
Well,
whiskey in
depends.
favor
If
of
I
the
bake,
pie.
then you're having the whiskey. When is the workshop again, Dwayne?
The workshop is at 7 o'clock on the 21st of November. That's a Tuesday night for all of you. who
Next
are
Tuesday
Around the
night.
world next Tuesday night. And the contact information is going to be along with the post, and it goes out on our newsletter.
Yep,
And we're
it's-
really looking forward to seeing everyone. And this is just one of many. This is going to be a recurring.
Oh, absolutely. This is just our first one.
Offering. So we look forward to maybe talking, a little bit about each theme before you do it.
For sure.
And
as to
tickets
what
are
it is
available on
about.
Eventbrite, so people can purchase their tickets
Okay,
there.
tickets are available on Eventbrite.
Yeah.
So we'll put the link
Yeah, absolutely.
along with the post. And
Terrific.
we're looking forward to it. So
It's
thank
gonna
you
be
guys.
dynamite.
Thank you.
Really
It's
looking
been
forward to
lovely.
it.
Thanks,
And I'll be
Carolina.
there to take pictures and make a salad.
Awesome.